Screw you, Mario! Welcome back, friends, to another Halloween spooktacular. You didn't think I'd miss Halloween, did you? Sure, I may only make 6 videos a year, but Halloween's gonna be one of them. Alright, so let's get right into it. Well, the last Halloween episode I think was pretty heavy in talking about, horrifying, gory things. I felt like this episode should just be a little bit more lighthearted, a little bit more chill, and maybe about some of my favorite cutesy Halloween games that I tend to go back to and play from time to time. And so yeah, let's get right into it. They both happen to be Game Boy games. Oh, I don't have it. Ha! I fooled y'all! I had it the whole time! Shisha! Bubble Ghost. Bubble Ghost is this lighthearted, wonderfully cute game where you are a ghost blowing a bubble. Kind of, I suppose it would maybe be a haunted house or something, but you could maybe describe it more as an obstacle course. And you have to get through all, I think, 34 levels or something like that to beat the game. There are a couple shortcuts you can take, and it gets really hard at the end. I never beat this game as a kid. I just didn't have it in me. But I recently went back and played it just a few days ago, and I actually beat the game. I haven't beaten the game for quite some time. This isn't a game like I pull out every Halloween or anything, but I did pull it out 2 Halloweens ago when we were having our October retro game night, and I set it up just for fun. Some of the girls were playing the Retron 5, and it was a good time, and it just made me want to talk about it, because the ghost is this little adorable smiley man. He kind of reminds me of Casper in a way, and all you do is blow the bubble through the haunted house. There's some spiders you gotta blow down, and there's like a trumpet that you use to charm a snake and get it to stick its head down so you can blow the bubble past. There isn't much to say on it, really. It's really simple, good times. And if you want, I would kind of call it a relaxing game, even though the later levels are not relaxing. They are very difficult to get past. But it's super adorable. The one weird thing about it is that the programmers didn't design it so when the ghost goes to the other side, it just flips the ghost. Instead, he kind of stays exactly his direction, so like he'll be upside down on the other side. It's one of those really strange omissions in programming that I figure like it couldn't have been that hard, right? To like make the ghost be the right way up on each side of the bubble. But they didn't. Oh well, it's still really fun, and I recommend anybody play this game any way they can if they want a big chillin' ghost bubble blowing adventure. And the second game that I want to talk about, and there's only 2, this is a pretty short one, is Kid Dracula. Yes, the adorable vampire man in the Castlevania-esque setting. This game I got as a kid, and I really loved it because as you go through the game, you get different magic powers. And back in those days, the magic was always limited, right? You play the X-Men game. Cyclops can only shoot so many lasers before he's out of laser power. Or, everything is limited. But with Kid Dracula, as long as you held the attack button down for a few seconds and you released it, you would cast whatever spell you had. And as you go through, you get like bad attacks and homing missiles and an umbrella that blocks stuff, and you have to use it in a couple key situations to get through. And it was unlimited. It was like a game that finally just lets you use the powers. I feel like back in those early NES days, and even Super Nintendo to a degree, it was all about giving you cool powers, but only letting you use them a little bit. And finally, here was a game where as a kid you could play it and use the special powers as much as you want. Attack every guy with the special move. And in fact, you were kind of rewarded for it because you get coins when you kill bad guys. And then at the end of every level, the game is pretty easy. You do die a lot. I mean, I just played it through again, and I died quite a bit, but you get so many lives that it just doesn't matter. I think I ended the game with like 50 or 60 lives, and by the end of the game, I was skipping the stuff to earn more guys because I had so many banked. But there's 4 different mini games you can play between the levels and spend coins on to play, and you don't just get to pick the one you want. They're all assigned to a crystal ball, and the lady hops the crystal balls all over, and you gotta then pick the one that you want, or hopefully get the one you want. I was like the pogo stick one. It's by far the easiest to get the most lives. They have a really interesting take on rock, paper, scissors. Don't know why it took me forever to figure that out. Where you have to do the rock, paper, scissors, but then you can attack or dodge if you win. So you have to win and then attack before the other guy dodges. And if you jump the gun and attack when you're not supposed to, you lose. And it's kind of an interesting take and adds a new dimension to it. Then there's a couple other ones that are just luck-based, like sticking swords in a skeleton thing, and if the head pops off, you lose. That one's not as fun. I like the pogo stick one. So, I forget, there's like maybe 9 or 10 levels, and you earn new power-up after the first few levels, but you fight these really funny boss battles. Like, you fight an entire family of slimes in the first level. Like, you fight the child, and then a big adult comes out, and you're like, oh man. And then an old guy comes out, and he just, like, falls over dead after the first, like, pass. I guess he's not dead. He just falls over. And then the baby ghost comes over and drags him away. You fight Jason Voorhees at one point, and it's so sad when you defeat him and he kind of runs away crying with his little hands up in the air, and it plays this goofy little tune music. And really, that's just it. It's super cute, kind of chibi, you know, the big head guys. The story is told through some cutscenes, so it has a little bit of production value, but it's not all that, you know, super riveting. Just, oh, the bad guy's back, and now you gotta defeat him. And so you do. And there was a Super Famicom version of the game, which I don't own, but you can play it, you know, on ROMs or EverDrive. I would recommend playing through Kid Dracula if you want some Halloween fun. I would recommend playing through it on an emulator because the physical copy is stupidly expensive, just because I guess it's rare now. Weird thing on that, I actually have 2 copies of it with 2 different labels. I didn't even know it had 2 labels till I looked at them closely here. One is my own childhood copy, and then I had a friend who I convinced to get the game because I told him it was so fun, and then when he didn't care about Game Boy games anymore in high school, he actually gave it to me. So now I have 2 copies, and it's kind of fun. So I guess that's it. This is a short one. It's not meant to be too heavy. I just wanted to kind of spitball some great Halloween games that I don't think many people really talk about. Kid Dracula is definitely more known than Bubble Ghost just because it's rare and collectible. I don't think anybody gives 2 poops about Bubble Ghost. And it's probably the one I would recommend playing the most, just because I think it's the most casual fun, and it's a great time. So, oh, here's my spooky jack-o'-lantern. I carved one just like this 4 days ago, but then he got all moldy and gross, so I had to throw him away and carve a new one today. But it was worth it because he's my friend. So, yeah, that's it. Happy Halloween. Don't die of the spooky ghost out there, the Rona. And I'll see y'all in the next episode. So, outro.
Oh, God! The children are burning! No!